On today's episode of Case Zero, we uncover a chilling story that begins with a quiet suburban home, but ends in a twisted betrayal. This is the tragic tale of Stacy Hunsucker, a mother of three whose life would be tragically cut short by the one person who was supposed to love and protect her. A trusted husband, a calculating plan, and a deadly secret hidden in plain sight. Stay with us as we unravel the chilling mystery behind the death of Stacy Hunsucker. Stacy Hunsucker was the epitome of a loving mother. Living in a small North Carolina town with her husband, Jason, and their three children, Stacy had everything to live for. From the outside, their family seemed perfect. Pictures of happiness, smiles, and laughter. But beneath this picture-perfect facade, things were not as they seemed. Behind the doors of their home, a storm was brewing, one that would soon lead to a horrific tragedy. Stacy was a devoted mom who cherished her children, and she was the heart of her family. She was known for her kindness and her warm spirit, lighting up the lives of everyone who knew her. Her friends and family described her as a vibrant woman, full of life and energy. The home videos from those early years paint a picture of a blissful family life. There are clips of Stacy at her kids' school events, on family vacations, and sharing quiet moments at home. These memories are a stark contrast to the darkness that was about to unfold. But even in these happy times, subtle signs of trouble were beginning to emerge, unnoticed by many but present nonetheless. The perfect image they projected to the world masked a growing unease that was slowly eating away at their lives from the inside out. As the years went on, Stacy and Jason's marriage began to unravel. Financial pressures and mounting debts took their toll. The couple had been struggling, trying to keep up with bills, and the strain began to show. Jason, once a caring husband, became distant. Tensions grew. Stacy, who had always been a loving wife and mother, had no idea that the person closest to her would soon betray her in the most horrific way imaginable. The financial stress was a heavy burden. They were living beyond their means, and the debt was piling up, creating a constant source of conflict between them. The arguments became more frequent, and the silences in between grew longer and more uncomfortable. Jason started spending more time away from home, and when he was there, he was emotionally withdrawn. Stacy tried to hold things together for the sake of their children, putting on a brave face despite the growing distance between them. She confided in a few close friends about her marital problems, but she never imagined the true extent of the danger she was in. She was fighting for a marriage that was already crumbling, unaware that her husband's mind was drifting towards a dark and irreversible path. It was on a quiet evening in 2015 that tragedy struck. Stacy was found dead in her home, and at first, it seemed like an unfortunate accident. But something didn't sit right with investigators. There were no signs of violence, no clear cause of death, just the faint, unexplained symptoms of poisoning. It didn't take long for authorities to realize that Stacy's death was far from accidental. When paramedics arrived, Jason claimed Stacy had suffered a sudden medical emergency. He appeared distraught, playing the part of a grieving husband. The initial report suggested a possible heart attack or a stroke, but the autopsy results told a different story. The medical examiner couldn't pinpoint a natural cause of death, which immediately raised red flags. Friends and family were shocked and confused. Stacy had been a healthy woman with no known serious medical conditions. The absence of any forced entry or signs of a struggle made the situation even more perplexing. Investigators started to suspect that the cause of death was something hidden, something insidious. They began to look closer at the days and weeks leading up to her death, searching for clues that could explain what really happened in the Hunsucker home. The key to Stacy's death came in the form of a simple, everyday item, eye drops. Stacy had ingested tetrahydrozoline, the active ingredient in many over-the-counter eye drops. At small doses, it can cause dizziness, nausea, and a sense of discomfort. But in large doses, it becomes deadly. A common product, yet this was no ordinary poisoning. This was a carefully orchestrated plan, executed over time. The question that now arose: who was behind it? The toxicology report was the breakthrough the case needed. Tetrahydrozoline is not something that would normally be found in the human body, especially at lethal levels. Investigators learned that when ingested, it can mimic the symptoms of a heart attack, making it a clever and deceptive poison. The discovery shifted the entire focus of the investigation from an accidental death to a homicide. The poison was untraceable in standard blood tests, which explained why the initial cause of death was so hard to determine. It was a silent killer, administered without leaving obvious marks. The police now had a murder weapon, but they still needed to find the person who wielded it. The circle of suspects began to narrow, and the truth was just around the corner. As the investigation unfolded, all eyes turned toward Jason Hunsucker, Stacy's husband. Why had Stacy been poisoned? Was it a random act? Or was it the result of something far darker? The truth was slowly emerging, and it was more sinister than anyone could have imagined. But the real shock came when investigators uncovered the motive, a motive that would send chills down anyone's spine. In part 1, we've uncovered the first pieces of this devastating puzzle. A life cut short by the most unexpected source, a trusted husband. But the truth behind Stacy's death goes even deeper. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will dive into the investigation that revealed Jason's darkest secrets and the twisted plan that led to his wife's tragic death. Make sure to subscribe to Case Zero to follow this heartbreaking true crime story, and hit the like button if you're following the investigation. What are your theories on the motive? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.